welcome to the Reichstag Part 3, Last Stand. So, I'm just going to jump straight in. If you haven't seen Parts 1 and 2, then obviously watch those first. Here's the current state of play. So the Russians are already on the advance. I'm still tentatively holding the Königsberg area, but I've pretty much started to concede that, and I'm beginning to pull my units back to the actual Reichstag itself. But I've still got a lot of units in the fight, and I'm still confident I can hold the Soviet forces off. I've decimated their attacks up until this point, and although they've gained ground, it's proving pretty costly for them. So I'm going to start off with more barrages. So lots of Soviet artillery's lined up now. I'm still able to keep them suppressed with my own rocket strikes. So I've got my Sturm Tiger at the ready there on my right flank. So the Soviets attempted to move up the central flank there, but I annihilated their attack. Starting to take small arms fire though. That sniper set up there. Knocked out a couple of T-34s by the looks of it. Barrage. Russian artillery's opening up along with the Katyushas. Incoming. So those streets are just filled now with Soviet armour and equipment and ordnance ready to storm me, and the barrage is certainly gaining in intensity. They're starting to pound my trench lines now, so the infantry in those trenches are pretty vulnerable, but I'm going to keep them there. They have to hold that position. I can't fall back anymore really now. There's not really enough space, quite frankly, back at the Reichstag for them, so I need to still try and hold that trench line and that Nebelwerfer pad north of the centre there, as you can see near that ruined tram. Devastatingly close artillery barrage there, almost took out my elephant. Second one, That elephant's looking vulnerable. I can't move it because I think the track's damaged. Now they're homing in on me here, so I think that elephant's a target. I may abandon the crew. I may scuttle. So I've still got this King Tiger on the left flank. He's very much in the fight. Fully repaired from part 2. I'm going to pull that tank back slightly. I don't want to lose the King Tiger as a result of Soviet artillery. Comes another Katyusha attack. Lucky I moved the tank in time. Massive salvo, returning fire there. Look at that. Absolutely pummeling the central flank. So, effective retaliation on my part there. I can still give as good as I get. So again, I'm still holding my ground. Ouch. Okay, I think that was a screw up by me. I'm not entirely sure what happened there actually. I think the Sturm Tiger fired on its own side there. I think maybe I accidentally launched a Sturm Tiger shot. Luckily I didn't get a direct strip on the rocket launchers. Otherwise that would have been an absolutely foolish move by me. I'm pulling back some infantry here, just pulling them back to the secondary trench lines. Incoming artillery. Well, that was truly intense. Massive Soviet barrage there. They're really looking to take out my trench line. I think I lost quite a few infantry, but luckily I pulled them back just in time. So I think maybe my losses were reduced as a result of a little retreat I performed there just before the barrage came in. But I think I have lost that elephant now in the centre of the map, and I think I've probably lost my front position there. My forward position being the rocket pods overlooking River 2. So as you can see from the map there, I no longer have any infantry manning those Nebelwerfer pads, so they're out. Well, they're probably destroyed now anyway. So I've got the Cold 4. I'm going to try and use that a bit more now. Soviet forces are just starting to edge onto this side of the river, just beginning to creep up those bridges. So I need to be careful about keeping those, both bridges, left and right flanks, keeping those secure. I'm scuttling this crew. They managed to survive the barrage somehow. I think luckily there was no direct strike on the elephant. By the looks of those craters, nothing directly hit it. So I'm pulling the crew back because the elephant's now essentially a waste of time. I could perhaps repair it, but I don't think I've really got time. I think it's probably too far gone. I've still got the elephant on the right flank. Soviet armour's creeping in now up the left bridge. They're also moving up the central flank as well. They're going for a two-pronged attack. So my defences are really going to be tested now. I need to really pummel these attacks. Looks like infantry have started to gain ground on the trenches. Massive Katusha barrage. Oh shit! That's not good. Well, I guess it was only a matter of time, but the Soviets are really starting to pound me now, and I'm starting to lose troops holding the Reichstag itself. They're beginning to enter into the combat here, so I need to really focus, use the Coal 4 and Sturm Tiger effectively. I've still got that King Tiger on the left flank. Managed to pull the Sturm Tiger back in time, so he's just out of range now, I think, of the Soviet barrage. But I'm beginning to get surrounded. I'm kind of cornered here. King Tiger's taking rounds. I need to flip that King Tiger around. For some reason his rear's facing the enemy. I need to correct that. But I need to try and engage that IS-152 crossing the bridge. There we go, direct hit. Hull destroyed. Nice. That's how it's done. It's like a light Soviet tank there. Russians are beginning to set up artillery there on the other side of the river, overlooking the Reichstag. Rolling in. I may be able to take out the artillery perhaps, if I'm lucky. But they're certainly starting to assert their dominance a little bit here. And I think this may just turn into an infantry on infantry affair in a minute, because the Soviets I know they're going to try and swarm me. Here we go, they're coming, right flank. Just got to hold the ground as best I can here. That's the officer in charge, the VIP. Just try and defend him. Ooh, good night. Artillery's pummeling me here, but I'm putting up a good fight, holding ground. Dangerously close. Need to try and use the Sturm Tiger to take out the Russian artillery. I'm going to try and line something up here. Got to pay off. Here we go. I'm going to have to focus on this infantry instead. There's bigger threats that are closer to me. Couldn't quite line up the shot there. I'm going to try and do that in a minute. The infantry are getting too close here. This is dangerous. It's really starting to creep up the Königsberg now. Königsplatz even. Moving in. Look at that. Dangerous. Right, second go. This time I may be able to pull it off. There were just too many infantry there, I had to deal with that. Here we go, lining up. Gotta get this, gotta get this. Just lining up the shot. There we go. Shit, screwed that up. Here we go. Here we go, will it hit? Good night. Well, that should give me some time at least. Certainly going to ease off on the artillery barrage for now. Well, somehow I managed to hold my ground against that infantry assault. but they are still in the trench line, and I'm significantly reduced here. So Soviets are hiding now in the trenches. But they've eased off for the moment. I need to start looking at what I've got left, really. Still got some launchers. Officers still in the fight. As long as I don't get barraged again, I've still got enough here to hold my ground for the time being. Now I'm going to... Coal 4. Oh, what happened there? I didn't notice that. The Tiger, King Tiger's out. Shit. I missed that. Sometimes in the heat of battle you miss things, and unfortunately I lost the Tiger there. I also forgot to flip him round. He was facing the enemy rear on. These things happen, I guess. I've still got the Coal 4 though. Tigers firing. Managed to take out a load of Russian infantry there. That was nice. Look at that. Direct hit on their advance. Rockets doing a barrage. So my Sturm Tiger and rocket barrage wasted the Soviet infantry there. Look at that. Huge body count there. So I'm still in the fight here. I've still got some powerful units. The Coal 4 and the Sturm Tiger. And I've still got some rocket launchers. So I'm very much still in the fight here. Because the Soviets can throw as many numbers at me as they like, but at the end of the day, I'm just gonna pound them before they get close. And as long as I continue to also use the Sturm Tiger to engage Soviet artillery, I may be free from Soviet barrages. But it's a tall order because Soviet numbers are colossal. Looks like a huge Russian wave coming in on the right flank again, moving up that bridge. Massive, massive wave of infantry. Bigger than the last wave by the looks of it. So I need to line this up carefully. Just huge Russian numbers now. Their army is endless. This is a fight to the last man standing. Opening up the Coal 4 there, trying to suppress this infantry advance. So my numbers are beginning to look pretty insubstantial compared to the Soviet attack, which is being reinforced continuously. Their numbers are endless, so I'm really just in this to hold ground for as long as I can, but I do have to accept the fact that I probably will eventually lose the Reichstag. The question is, can I hold for much longer? I've got enough units here. I'm going to micromanage and focus on my key units. So let's see how we do in part 4.